Fred Williams, XL Prime, conversions. We're going to take feet and inches and try to break those down into inch measurements. We can use this. It's bulky, it's cumbersome, it's a pain in the rear, but we can do it. We can use left, find, absolute, substitute, mid, and break this thing down. It's two pieces. We're going to take the feet. We're going to take the feet and multiply it times 12 to get that first part of the equation. Then we have to strip this 2 inches from the remaining text. This is text, okay? And we got to convert it over with the substitute and the find and what have you. Here we have a write-up, and I'm first going to try to explain visually how this thing works. Here's the formula. We did the first part, left B5 up through this asterisk is right here. All we're going to do is look at left, or keeps everything to the right. Once we break this thing down, the number of characters, F9, we're going to keep 2. We're going to keep 2 characters. So we're going to go left, B5, 2, B5, and we want to keep the first 2 characters. How do we do that? There is a single quote or an apostrophe in there. That's what we're going to find. We're going to go find F9, within text, and the start number, we don't have a start number. Then we're going to subtract 1. We don't want that single quote or apostrophe in there. Here, this is just going to find 9. It's going to find 3. Find is just looking for a position. What position? You see that single quote? That's all it found. And that's at 3. 3 minus 1 is our number of characters. F9 is 2. And that gives us the 17. I would applaud and say, yeah, we're done. That's the easy part. We have to go and tear this other piece apart, and that is the absolute, substitute, mid, B5, so on and so forth. We're going to use the mid function. We need to get rid of everything. We need to get everything from the apostrophe all the way to the right. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to look for that apostrophe again, and the mid will allow us to do that. Just keep in mind, we are doing the exact same thing with the left, but here we're going to use mid. What we have to do is substitute. We're going to take that single quote or the apostrophe, we're going to substitute it with, a blank. We're going to do it like we normally do. We're going to get a gross number, and then we're going to subtract. Here is this second part plus ABS. Here it is across here. If we look at len B5, see this last part here? Len B5, that's going to be 6 characters. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6 characters. Then we're going to do the same thing, find. We're going to use find only on the parts that we're trying to dissect. And that is from the apostrophe single quote to the right. Here, we're going to look and we're going to F9, and we're going to find the apostrophe, find B5, 1, it's 3, plus 1. The apostrophe is 2, and then we're going to add 1. B5 is this number. Why are we putting all this together? Because this is the output. We're looking for mid, B5, which is going to be 8, 9. Then we're going to do find. That's our start number. And our number of characters is going to be 5. In the end, we're going to do this. We'll look at start number, F9, is going to be 3. Then number of characters, F9. So what are we doing with mid? We start at 3, 4, 5. We're going to keep 3 characters. We're going to keep 3 characters. That means starting at the third position, which is 1, 2. It's going to be that blank. We're going to keep 9 and the 2 quotes. So in the end, here's our end result, 9 inches. Then from there, we're just going to substitute B5, etc., etc. We want to get rid of the quote. This is the hardest part here. There's 4 quotes in here. If we're going to substitute, we have to put quotes around whatever we're going to substitute. Well, here, we're going to do the quote, then we want a blank. And our end result is 9. 9. The reason we're using this next step, this is the substitute, then we move over to absolute. Look down here. We have 9, and we have, in this other example, 10 and 5/8. We need some numbers because the end result will be, we need to convert this over into inches. We can't add 576 to 10 and 5/8. We can 576 to 10.65. And if there was a negative number, we need to convert that. Or mostly it's in the event that there's a hyphen in here, we want to make sure that's not subtracted. In the end, all we're going to do is we're going to compact this whole thing. We had 9 inches, 96. Well, what is this? Find 12. So now we have 96, and we're going to add 9. So it's 105. All we're doing is stripping that 9 inches away from our feet, then making sure it's convertible over into addition. Very simple. The layout is just step by step. That's why I break this stuff down so you can visually see it. Now I could go and open this thing up and do F9s to death. This helps. On the other hand, you want to go in here and break this apart piece by piece. You can go F9. You see the 9 inch there? You can go in and this absolute. So what's the next step? I can go left, F9. And so I have 8, 9, and then I have number of characters, F9, and it's 1. And I mean, you could tear it apart this way. You can see how quickly you get lost. Either way, they both work. I think I covered most of this. I'm trying to go as fast as I can and still cover this in a timely manner. Brad Williams, XL Prime.